Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and what I'm going to be doing this time around is looking at Waterloo, Scourge of War in a slightly different way. This is going to be something a little bit new. What I'd like to do is take a look at the entire battle scenario, the 9-hour fight from 11:30 a.m. till around 8:30 a.m., playing from the French side. You can see here the situation is that we've spent the morning surveying the ridge to the north while waiting for the ground to dry. That's from the heavy rains that occurred the day before. The only visible forces are some scattered infantry units and artillery along the ridgeline, and Wellington has set his troops up in front of a forest. You can see here on the map we've got the entire French army under our command, with d'Aileron here toward the center and right of the French army, with Millard's cavalry in support. Relay is in the left flank toward the Hougoumont, and to the left of La Haye-Saint, Lobu and Drouot, and I'm sure I'm butchering these pronunciations, so I apologize in advance, are both in reserve. And you also have Kellerman's cavalry on the left flank of the French army as well. Meanwhile, the Anglo-Allied armies deployed on the ridges, as well as the Papelotte on the right flank and some fortresses along the front. And that's the situation where we have here. So basically what I'm going to be doing in this battle is I'm going to be replaying the whole 9-hour scenario. But what I'd like to do is something a little bit different than what I've done before. What I'd like to do in this scenario is actually take command of the French army, the entire army, and fight the battle. But I'd like to try and do it with a viewer input. This is something that I've seen a few channels do, not with Scourge of War, but with other games, where basically they kind of allow the viewers to determine a strategy. Now, obviously, you might say something, I might disagree, someone else might say something different, so it's certainly possible that what you would say and what may be done is different, but I'd like to maybe look at kind of a poll system or just kind of take user recommendations in the comments or something along those lines, and then play through this battle in its entirety. I think what I'll probably do is I'll break the video apart into either 30-minute or 1-hour segments. I think 30 minutes would probably work better, where we basically play for 30 minutes, save the game, upload the video, we see what happens, and then users can comment in the thread or on the video saying what they think we should do next. Now, I'm not sure how detailed I want to make it, so I'm certainly looking for some feedback from you guys. I mean, is that something that I should be doing where, you tell me exact units to do, or are we talking more grand scale, attack this corps this place, this corps another place? I'll kind of leave it up to you guys and see what you think, and also see what you think about this idea, kind of a community let's play type deal. Now, obviously, this is going to be, if we do 30-minute segments, that'll be about 18 episodes because it's a 9-hour scenario. And hopefully, as the French, we can drive the Anglo-Allied army from the field before the Prussians arrive. You can see here as the Army of the North under the Napoleon Bonaparte, our Army du Nord. He has 80,317 men, and that's where you start with the scenario at 11:30. Quite a few men here. Actually, the entire army is more or less deployed. d'Aileron's corps is ready to attack the center. There's two smaller corps in reserve, the Guard, and then about a 10,000-man corps, or maybe is that a division? I'm not sure, in reserve. And then you've got Durelli's 20,000 men on the left. So basically, the French have just shy of 40,000 men deployed up front with a grand battery of over 80 cannon. You can see that here stretching out as the scenario starts, and these guns all roll into position. Now, we'll restart the scenario for this actual series of videos. But I guess the question at this point is, what should we do? What do we do? Do we attack on the left at the Hougoumont? Do we attack up the center toward the La Haye-Saint and try and drive the British from the ridge, making sure to have more cavalry support than historically occurred, maybe bringing the Guard up instantly and trying to punch through the enemy with a 40,000-man assault just to kick things off? That might be a little bit much. I enjoy the game and I'm comfortable with it, and I've played a lot of it, but I will say that corps size engagements are probably a little bit beyond me. So if we're talking about a massive let's play of me controlling 80,000 men, I can't guarantee this will be pretty. Things will probably devolve into a hectic disaster pretty quickly. But hopefully you guys can give me some support, give me some recommendations, and things can pan out here as we attempt to drive the Allies from their positions there. We kind of just, honestly, following the cannons here, got to look at our front line as these cannons launch a cannonade across the center. Meanwhile, on the flank, we've got some fortified buildings over here that the Anglo-Allies already have occupied with some of our cavalry there on the flank, and then this is the far edge of Lebu's line. So if we take a look at our order of battle, you can see we've got Drouot, who commands the Guard Corps with about 18,000 men, a very solid unit making up of the historic Old Guard as well as some less experienced Young Guard troops, still nonetheless a crack corps of about 18,000 men. We've got Aileron's force of about 20,000 men. That's here across the center of the battlefield with the Grand Battery. Again, we could launch that assault straight up the middle. We've got Relay's corps. He's on the left, toward the Hougoumont, and to the left of Aileron and left of La Haye Saint. And that's where his troops are positioned, just shy of 20,000 men. So about 40,000 men are deployed, ready to launch an attack, at the moment. Don't ask me to attack everybody at once, because frankly, I'm just not good enough to do that. We then have a couple other corps. We've got Lebu. He's a smaller force of about 10,000 men, the 6th Corps. And then we have... is that really it? We just have we have the 4 corps. And then we have 2 corps of cavalry, or 2 divisions of cavalry under General Kellerman and General Millard. Millard is kind of on the right in support behind Aileron's center, and Kellerman is on the left behind Relay's corps. So we've got 40,000 men there set up along the front, along with just shy of about 10,000 cavalry in support as well, with Millard's having just shy of 4,000 and Kellerman a little bit over 5. So that's the situation. That's where we're at right now, and we've got some choices. We could try and maneuver around the entire army to the left, perhaps, and just outflank and roll up the Allied line. Historically, Wellington was worried that Napoleon would try and outmaneuver him to the open ground to the left, which he did not do. Or we could try a frontal assault. We could try and drive to the right toward Papelotte and La Haye to secure our right flank and take those fortified buildings, so if the battle is still going on by the time the Prussians arrive, that we've got a kind of a strong defensive position to blunt their assault. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. It's 11:30. Do we want to attack the Hougoumont per history? Do we want to go with a massive opening assault without really kind of feeling out the Allied line at all? I guess that's kind of the question to decide here. As we can see, the artillery duel has begun. Now, historically, the Duke of Wellington was strongly against Allied guns engaging in an artillery duel with the French, mainly focusing on infantry fire, although there were a few batteries who did disobey his orders. We'll probably talk some history throughout, as well as, again, taking a look at community feedback and seeing what you guys want. But let me know. I mean, I haven't for sure decided on if this is something we want to do. I figured I would leave it up to you guys and let me know if that's something that seemed interesting and exciting to you. And if so, give me your recommendations. We could start with a small division. Maybe we would just probe the enemy with a division attempting to look for a weak spot. Or we could just launch a corps all, straight up the gut and try and overrun the enemy right away. Yeah, let me know what you think, and leave a comment in the description in the comment section with your thoughts. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this short little brief intro as the artillery fire continues all along this Grand Battery's line. And let me know if this is something you want me to do, and if so, let me know what you think we should start off with, and if you have any tips on how we would decide what to do and how we would kind of make our decisions as far as the scenario is concerned, let me know. I can kind of maybe write up a guideline on how we're going to do that. Right now it's pretty ad lib. This is just kind of me throwing some ideas out there and seeing what you guys think. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off here. I appreciate you tuning in for this, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.